if you have a calling, it's really sad if you let it go unheard. Like girls coming, cheering each other, the female friendships, which actually are so very special. Social media actually led me to where I am today. People come to class and they want that video to put up on Instagram.
Hello and welcome. You're with us on RuleBreaker. We're breaking the rules. And what rules are we breaking? That women come last. My special guest today, Aarifa. Hi.
Hi, Shaili.
Super to have you.
Super excited to be speaking with you.
Tell the world, what does Aarifa do?
Aarifa is pole fitness trainer and entrepreneur and the founder of Pole Burnt, which is India's pioneering pole fitness studio. And I'm the director of Expole India.
What prompted you to take up pole?
What prompted me to take up pole? Honestly, it was just a thing of serendipity. So I was visiting my sister in Australia. That was about a decade ago, and so my sister had a baby, and I was visiting my nephew, and I just went for a class just to try out something new in a new city and make new friends, and I happened to sort of just do a class just for fun, and I got hooked on to it, and one thing led to the other.
So in India, pole has often been associated with pole dancing. That's the only thing that comes to people's mind. Perhaps even a few decades ago, maybe everywhere in the world. I was just curious to know, what's the difference? What's pole fitness all about?
I think pole is essentially athletic in nature, and the beauty of pole is that it blends the worlds of sport and art, because it's also a form of dance. It's fluid movement. You're spinning on the pole mid-air, and you're using your body as an instrument of expression. Plus, at the same time, it's also athletic. It's working every muscle in your body. You're lifting your own body weight. So it blends the world of art and sport, and that is what makes it a very unique form of movement discipline. And I wouldn't really distinguish dance and fitness separately, because they sort of blend into each other. But doing pole is like essentially like playing a sport, and sort of infuses you with the spirit of a sports person.
So when people used to talk about pole dancing, when people talk about pole dancing, they think item numbers.
I think pole actually very soon, hopefully, it's in the process of becoming an Olympic sport as well.
Wow.
I think if a few more years, and it'll be in the Olympics. So it's a sport.
And I love the way you bring that about, because today we have so many stereotypes around the idea of pole fitness, particularly in India, where this is, it's not commonplace. Do you have to often be the ambassador to change that thinking?
So basically, I feel like when I came into this scenario, we were already at the cusp of change, and things are changing, and changing quite rapidly, I feel, and I think we are pretty fortunate, our generation, generations to come. And honestly, I have been supported quite a bit I come from a family which is super supportive, a family of really ambitious women who believe that whatever you do it. It's how you do what you do and the passion with which you do it, and you have to we get a little competitive, but you have to be the best at what you do. That's my upbringing. I had a little pressure, but I had to always stand first in class, take part in competitions, stand first. So I always was brought up with that sort of a spirit. So whatever I would take on, I would want to sort of excel at that, and that was infused in me since childhood. And when I decided to take up something as unconventional as pole dancing, my mom was like, if you're doing this, you have to be the best at it. And also I pioneered it, so that came with another whole responsibility, because I was sort of branding something as unconventional as pole in India. But I have luckily been supportive, and I also sort of work with blinders on, so I just sort of focus on what I need to do. I believe in what I do, And I think if you believe in yourself, the world will believe in you. It may not happen today or tomorrow, but eventually it will.
So on this show, we often ask this very important question. What rules did you break?
What rules did I break? I think the time when I took up pole, like today kids take up, different kind of professions and they are like, doing fancy things. But at my time, we were still either doctors or engineers. My sister is a gynac. So I chose to do something very unconventional. My nuclear family is super supportive, but like my extended family was like, she gets brilliant marks, she should also take up medicine like her sister. So definitely doing something unconventional and being the first, you're breaking into a whole new market, so that sort of took intelligence, it took smartness, it took the right kind of weight, the right kind of branding. But yeah, I think
You're there.
Yeah, I'm there.
What has been the most challenging piece of getting pole on the forefront for you?
I mean, my family is like largely everyone is supportive, and because we have this, mind frame that you should either, if you get good marks, you either become a doctor or an engineer. So yeah, but then I feel, if you're really passionate about something and if you have that fire firstly within you to do something, which I knew, as I started my pole journey, I knew this is something, it felt like a calling, and and if you have a calling, it's really sad if you let it go unheard.
Yeah.
And when you have that energy within you, I think then the kind of focus that you have, it's super streamlined. Then the other things just become the background. They don't matter basically.
Yeah. So we are all kind of some way or the other people who are always trying to stay focused. But we work in a society, we work in a construct, and then, for example, I wonder, when people were coming here, did they say that, oh, you know what, I'm trying this, but I haven't told my parents that I'm trying this? Or, did you ever feel that? I'm just kind of curious what happened over the course of the last few years, building this entire enterprise, if you face challenges from within the family, or you heard other people face challenges as they came up to say, hey, listen, I'm going to try this.
I think a lot of people are shy, like body positivity is now becoming a thing, but people are shy, and pole technically requires you to, have skin grip. So I think a challenge is for people to sort of get over that. But I feel like, honestly, the vibe of the studio and the classes is such, everybody instantly sort of, feels comfortable. And honestly, like, because of social media, also, like I said, because I entered at this cusp of change and things were changing so rapidly and it's just so awesome. But social media actually led me to where I am today, because everybody wants to come to class, as surprising as it can sound. People come to class and they want that video to put up on Instagram. So it has actually worked in my favor.
Yeah.
People... And there are girls who say, they go home and they show it to their parents, and their parents go, wow, you should definitely continue doing this.
Yeah. Have you always been comfortable in your skin?
I have been, I would say, fairly, but of course with pole I feel a lot more confident.
Which part were you not confident or comfortable with, and why?
As a kid, I think I was a gawky, like a teenager. I was a bit awkward. And I was quite a tomboy, so I think pole has helped me embrace my femininity, to a large extent, and it's not about one body part. It's just generally, celebrating that femininity within you. I think that's come about with pole for sure.
Yeah, it's such a sensual sport, and it's very graceful and elegant in so many ways. What are the ways by which you have changed your life as part of this sporting fraternity?
I feel, with so many, women coming together to train, and because my clientele is largely women, I think there's a sisterhood of sorts, you know, which feels very special, which I've never been a part of before, and I really haven't heard of that so much, you know. So this sort of, if the community vibe is so like girls coming, cheering each other, you know, the female friendships, which actually are so very special, you know. So seeing that sort of grow, evolve over the years, that's been great. I think, yeah, and also like being a pioneer in a field obviously gets you a lot of attention, you know, and I've met some amazing people like Shaili, and a lot many more, you know, because of doing something as unique. Had I taken up something very conventional, I wouldn't probably meet as amazing, or maybe I would, but this definitely has been one of the catalysts in the whole.
So you talked about body positivity. It's an ongoing dialogue in our country, both within women and in society. While you are trying to break many elements of that, talk to us about which aspect of body positivity dialogue are you still disturbed by? Because I know that at your classes there are people of all kinds of you know, sort of bodies who come and embrace themselves in many good ways. But it's not easy.
I think when something is not easy, being able to sort of break that barrier is a lot more gratifying and exciting. So yeah, being able to sort of bring about that change, and it's very organic. It's not even like, you know, we enter class and we say, "Oh, guys, let's be, you know, really confident about." It's just very organic. It's just the energy. It's just, you know, trying to get that one move, you know, right. Understand, because people, when they enter class, they're so focused on learning the skill, being able to sort of execute it, understand the technique, that they forget everything else. And I think that's the beauty of it, that that's the beauty of learning something new, you know. It sort of changes you in more ways than once. You just don't learn a new skill, you have something within you has shifted so drastically, and so an integral part of you has shifted, you know, like it's organic, you know.
Why do you think people are now, not even why, maybe I think how, and are women more comfortable in their skin? You know, you teach people. You can see that they come either conflicted or in a celebratory feeling about their body. What is Aarifa's view on our journey with body positivity in India?
I think, you know, honestly, I feel body positivity, being comfortable with your body, is not like a gender thing. I'm sure even men have their insecurities for sure. You know, everybody does, and I think any kind of change, it's going to take some time, and I think the concept of body positivity will also evolve. Right now, it's so much about, you know, just the size of the body, or, you know, and the idea of beauty also has changed, right? Like what we thought was beautiful centuries ago, you know. There was a time when voluptuous bodies are beautiful. There are parts of India where a voluptuous bodied woman is, you know, is the ideal kind of beauty. Then we had this phase of you have to be really skinny, and then now it's you have to have abs and be athletic. So I think the concept itself keeps changing and shifting, and the whole concept of body positivity as it is now, I think that's also going to evolve. The dialogue is also going to change. It's not just going to be about parts of the body, or just, you know, so much about how do I say it? I think the conversation still needs to evolve, and it will evolve.
Yeah. Let me dig a little deeper on this. And, you know, we are sitting in Bombay in your studio, where you're very familiar with women coming here and sort of dressing down and embracing the journey with the pole. This isn't India everywhere. Women are scared of, you know, shedding clothes because log kya kahenge? Or what will somebody think of my body? You know, and will I get judged that I have stretch marks, or that I'm 45 and, you know, I'm trying to do something like this, you know, I'm technically past my prime. How do you kind of embrace that conversation? Because you don't seem to have started in your 20s, you know what I mean? Like you've also taken up this entire idea and gone with it, perhaps at the middle of your journey with life. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, I think I started pole around my late 20s. I'm like mid 30s now. I mean, yeah, like because I am in Bombay and I'm like in the most coolest city in the country, so probably I don't have that much of insight into what goes on maybe in the very rural parts of India,
Or just small towns.
or just really small towns. Of course, it's also people need sort of validation from the outside. You know, of course, that's to do with every aspect of life. You know, I suppose there are women who are not the very ideal body type, who are very confident. You know, I think body confidence doesn't really have to do with how your body looks. You know, it just comes from, I think, a bringing up, how your parents sort of, the conversations you had at home, what you read, what you watch. There's so many factors that influence the idea of body positivity, I feel. It's not necessarily the woman with the most perfect, so to speak, body is going to be super confident about it.